rabbit on a naughty spree. Bananas from cow pits in Korea, quick to flee. Teasing sisters jumping wild and free. Leapfrogging over Posh spice, too stealthy for me. Cookie bags crumble, teeny hears a call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planters sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Tiny eyes glinting, always on the prowl. Moving through the shadows, stealthy as an owl. Captain Stash pilfered, making her scowl. Teeny's got agility, swift as a howl. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears a call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planters sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Futons at playgrounds, Teeny roams at night. Feasting on treasures hidden out of sight. Teasing Posh spice, leaving her in plight. Adventures in the moonlight, bunny delight. Captain's fast, but Teeny never slow. Running through hay mangers, nimbly on tiptoe. Heartbeats wild in on the show. Teeny's grand adventure, give her a toy. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears the call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planters sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Futons at playgrounds, Teeny roams at night. Feasting on treasures hidden out of sight. Teasing Posh spice, leaving her in plight. Adventures in the moonlight, bunny delight. Captain's fast, but Teeny never slow. Running through hay mangers, nimbly on tiptoe. Heartbeats wild in on the show. Teeny's grand adventure, give her a toy. Give her a toy. Teeny's grand adventure, loving it all.
Dusty the rabbit, all covered in hay, building her nest like it's time to play. Big floppy ears and a mischievous twitch. In the yard, she's always digging a ditch. She sneaks through with a hop and a skip, eyes wide open, just looking for a trip. Suspicious, she is not denying that fact. Playful trickster, always up to some act. Dusty, Dusty, where have you been? Rolling in the hay, making everything green. Dusty, Dusty, always so sly, with your floppy ears reaching for the sky. She cuddles in the sun just for a snooze, dreaming about the way she can build a nest. Her fluffy tail wiggles when she's on the go. Naughty little Dusty, always stealing the show. She's a Flemish giant with a heart so bold. Every story about her just has to be told. Dusty the rabbit, always in the know, running in circles with a gleeful glow. Dusty, Dusty, where have you been? Rolling in the hay, making everything green. Dusty, Dusty, always so sly, giant with a heart so bold. Every story about her just has to be told. Dusty the rabbit, always in the know, running in circles with a gleeful glow. Dusty, Dusty, where have you been? Rolling in the hay, making everything green. Dusty, Dusty, always so sly, with your floppy ears reaching for the sky. She cuddles in the sun just for a snooze, dreaming about the ways she can build a nest. Her fluffy tail wiggles when she's on the go. Naughty little Dusty, always stealing the show.
Donkey the rabbit munching cookies all night. Sugar rush plays in a crazy delight. Nibbling faces in a frenzied haze. Friends confused in his cookie craze. He hops through chaos in the midnight dark. Cookies in his paws, leaving a sweet mark. Face is bitten with a playful bite. Donkey's world, a funny sight. Donkey the rabbit, sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, crunching all remains. Cookies crumble, falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Chasing shadows under the moon's bright glare. Cookies his obsession, like he don't care. Friends watch in shock as he takes a bite. Donkey's love for cookies just feels right. He grins, mischievous eyes so wild. The chaos around him driving friends mild. Cookies drop, crumbs scatter in the bush. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Bite mark stories on furry cheeks. Donkey the rabbit at his cookie peak. Friends band together, a loving chase. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Ankle face, nibble pace. Donkey the rabbit, but sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, nibble on your face. Cookies come, big bugger falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Plans ignore. Donkey want more, can't ignore.
Donkey, the cookie muncher.
muncher. He can never get enough cookies. He never stops eating the cookie. He's a cookie cat. Donkey the rabbit, the cookie muncher. He can never get enough cookies. He never stops eating, 'cause he's a cookie cat. Donkey the rabbit, the cookie muncher. He can never get enough cookies. He never stops eating, 'cause he's a cookie cat. One, two, three, four.
In a kingdom far away, there's a princess named Kira, with beautiful brown locks and eyes that sparkle. Every day at twilight, she dances through the meadow with bunnies by her side as the sun starts to retire. One bunny turned to two, and two turned to a dozen. But Captain Kira's heart's forever filled with love. Her kingdom now enchanted, a ballet of soft footsteps, magical melodies carried on wings of a dove. Ballerina princess, her bunnies by your side, a twirl and a pirouette as dreams come alive. Captain Kira dances, her heart so full of bliss, in a world enchanted where love will always persist.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Will you coming to dinner? All right. We got one. Okay, yes, we got everyone except for one. Can you go in there, Slugs? Slugberg? Sluggy, look. Here you go, guys. Here you go. How is everyone? Hey, cuties. Whoop. Hey, oh, don't miss dinner time. You can miss dinner. Hello. Hello there. This looks like I'm drinking a huge thing of wine. Oh, this is good. That is some powdered yerba. Did I put yerba in this thing? Frozen passion fruit juice. And wait, who's gonna see first? Can't decide. Oh, and so cute. But yeah, frozen passion fruit juice cubes, frozen cherries, and some sparkling waters. Ooh, good stuff. Okay. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with my iPhone? I really don't like this phone. I keep on getting yesterday's stream instead of today's stream. This is see here. There we go. Finally. Now awaiting the presence of the dazzling. I don't feel it all. I love it. Dazzling Captain Kira, Queen of the Buns. And Chuck Punk. He's a Midwestern hunk. Take my hand. Slam them into Neverland. Um, how is everyone, guys? I was really tired at like 7. Was it 7? I was maybe a couple minutes before 7. I just crawled into bed and I was like, I'll just get into bed for 12 minutes. I'll get into bed for 12 minutes. I'll set my alarm for 7, and then my alarm went off at 7, and I was like, oh, I think I'll stay in bed a little bit longer. I did not get out of bed till like 7:42, and I was like, oh my gosh, I still need to clean the Bunz room, and I need to get the vegetable. So I was scrambling, but you guys, it was just out of sheer tiredness. I think the weekend with my little kayak trip and getting up early all weekend and not like resting caught up with me. And I was on the go all day today from early in the morning till I finally got home at 6. And I ate some food outside and I saw Funky Bones for a little bit today. Um, fed her apple, of course. But yeah, guys, anyway, I got Hewlin Mall or Hewlin Mod, as I like to call him, my main man moderator. Know him, you love him. He has a puppy named Miss Lucy Goosey. You guys, this drink is so heavy. I actually need both hands to drink this thing. Now that's a drink. It's also in a giant jar, which that is a good drink though. It is indeed. Yeah, I did some ballet spin, some really amazing ballet. High five, amazing person. And got to do that. Very lucky that I am dancing and did some other stuff that was also pretty darn cool. Um, but yeah, I had some really good food. I feel like I need to clean this lunch again. Um, I got Gwyn. Hi, baby Gwyn. Sister. Slugs. Here. Go see Donkers. You know what? Okay, wait, let's close you guys. Hi, Mr. Fluffy. Here's my flute. Donkey is like um is like my Lucy Goosey dog, because he's my white flute. And Hugh and Maud's doggy is Lucy is a white floofy. Yeah, she's cute. How is Lucy doing? How is Miss Lucy Goosey doing, Hewlin Mall? Or as Donkey likes to call me, Hoolan Mooly, Hoolan Mooly. I know. That's the best. That is the best of all. Hoolan Mooly. Donkey's nicknames for people. They're the best, right, Mr. Munchers? Munching on some kale. So good for you, Donkers. I know. 88 Punk is a little weird. Like, Kristen Cheyenne Star Triple R is not here. We've been on and out, always shows up a little bit late. And then Restorian always shows up a little bit late. Senor Bandonkadon. Lucy as well still has good energy for a 14-year-old. Oh, it's so awesome. I love it. You must be giving her some very good love and care, Hewlin Mall. You're a good puppy dad. He's a good doggy daddy. AJ Punk, do you have any pets? I can't remember if you've ever talked about having any animals. I don't want to neglect asking about your critters if you have some. I know Wes has some critters that he cares for. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Crystal with a K is not here yet, but she's also been showing up a little bit late too. She's usually not here like up front and center. You have a golden retriever? Have we seen pictures of your puppy dog, AJ Punk? Oh gosh, if I've forgotten, I'm sorry. That's cool. I know, I've never had a golden retriever. I have definitely, gotten to pet some golden retrievers, and if they seem like really chill dogs. Hulenwall says he hears Goldens are some of the most intelligent dogs. I didn't know that. Yeah. What's your golden retriever like, AJ? They're great hunting dogs. Well, they're retrievers. Yeah. Um, they have like what they call a soft mouth, right? So they can pick up birds and stuff. I mean, I don't like to think about that because, you know, Like, I raised ducks from when they were babies as pet ducks and my goose and all that, but, you know. Do you hunt? I'm kinda scared to ask because not my favorite subject in the world, but, the fact that you just, said that your dog was a great hunting dog, I don't know. My grandfather, he did hunt birds, and he didn't have golden retrievers, but gosh, I'm trying to think. What was his dog? His main dog was like, oh gosh, I can't remember the breed. More of like the spaniels and stuff. Oh, excuse me, guys. Your dog, your dog is a lover boy, not an athletic dog whatsoever. And he makes it up by being the bestest good boy. Oh gosh. That's what we wanted. We want the bestest good boy. Us. Posh, are you the bestest good girl? Look at that. I mean, with this big black tail, would you not be the bestest girl ever? Whoops. Are we nudging each other out of the way? Oh, okay. Teeny, what are your thoughts, Teeny? Teeny's deep in thought. She's got things on her mind. Is that right? Is that right, Jabba? Jabba blah. Yuli, you used to have a German Shepherd. When Lucy was a puppy, she loved chewing on her ears. Oh my gosh. So sweet. How did you like having a German Shepherd? I have not had a German Shepherd, but I primarily have had Australian cattle dogs. So I definitely like the herding type style of dogs. And I would think German Shepherds are a little bit like that. Who's crawling on me? Aw, you folks. Hi, Tina. The girl Teeny. She's being calm. She getting some pets. Good girl, Teeny. Being almost like a pet rabbit. Aw. Oh, she just growled at me. Probably petting you. What do I need to, even if I have a will growl at me. You are something else, miss. Did you know that? You're a piece of work. Think about that. She just bopped me with her nose. She's like, no extreme close up. It's not in my contract for tonight. Forget that. He, oh my gosh. Hey guys, do you like my new dress? Anyone notice my new dress? This is resale. This is used dress from resale. Oh, Delphine. I thought it was super cute. Someone may have worn it for years, but getting some more love, getting some more use. here on Giant Bunz. A giant red dress on giant buns. Oh, there she is. Crystal, Crystal with the K, special K. Oh, Crystal, Crystal, special K. We love Crystal every night and day. It's Crystal with the K. Oh, ba 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 ba. How's things going, Crystal? Thanks for coming to Giant Buns. Crystal showing up in the chat reminds me I was gonna look into getting some cereal again and actually buying cereal again because I have to say, when you're hungry and you don't want to cook anything, does come in handy. And I love cereal. Tasty. It's tasty. And cereal it like gives you some quick energy too. Like maybe before ballet and stuff. Right, Delph? Hulen Mall. Oh, you were saying, I love my German. I like how she used to paw in my arm when I stopped petting her. This is right here. She started pulling on my new dress, Hewley. Yes, she did. Oh, that's because I think these guys are extra smart and they love their humans and they are bonded to their humans. Look at this guy. This guy too. This is Little Gray, and he wants to get his pets just like his mom. Yes, he does. Hi, I love you. I love you, Fluffy. Come here. I can give you some pets too. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Delph's like, I need pets. Wait, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna look guys, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go like this, and then I'll do double pats. We'll do double pats like this. There we go. Yes, I can pet two at a time. And then I'll put the chat here. Yeah, what's the word, Crystal, with a K? What's going on? Anything to report in your special K life? I wish did Special K the cereal ever have like a theme song? Nothing comes to mind. Um, Crystal Special K, Crystal Special K. Like Secret Agent Man. I was thinking, is it Special Agent Man? No, of course it's Secret Agent Man. But hey, worth a try. Just worth a try. Right, little Gray, you're gonna snuggle. Yeah, you're gonna do some snuggling. Yes, he is, because he's the bestest. Oh my goodness. Krispy Kreme, Krusty Krab, Kirsty Cookie Tillman. My goodness. How you doing? I'm so happy to see you, Christy. Crispy, oh my gosh, Krispy Kreme is here. I've been here for a while, but was driving home. Now I got to bring, oh man, you just did the groceries, eh? Good on you. Look at Donkers all spread. Oh, look at that boy. Just luxuriating on his bath mat. Because he looks like he's at the beach. Like, I need time. I need to stretch out at the beach. I'm chillaxing with my sloth. With my sloth. Man, that's good. That is cute. Things, things are good. That's awesome. That is awesome. Speaking of dog breeds, we used to have exotic breeds when I was a kid. Oh, Misty, you guys had so many different animals. Tell me which dogs you had, if you don't mind. I would love to know. And maybe you've told me before. I know that we do talk animals, but like I'm always shocked at like any almost you have one of those for a secret Asian man. Sounds like secret Asian man. Secret Asian man. Oh yeah. Gosh, I never thought about that. But Crispy, you've been out shopping, getting all the groceries for the fam. That's a big job. That's another thing I did like this weekend, which one of these weekends, maybe I will just kind of chill at home a little bit. I want to go see. I want to go. There's an opera going on. I want to go see an opera this weekend, coming weekend. So one evening, either Friday or Saturday, I want to go to the opera. I don't know what else I will do this coming weekend, but I don't want to do too much. I want to get some stuff done at home that need to be done, as you do, right, guys? Is that right, snuggle bunnies, snuggle beans? Do we go pet? Let's go pet Donkey. Let's go see that Mr. Bandonkadonk, Mr. Bandonkadonk. Soreness is already setting in. Ballet was. I almost kicked over the whole bunny castle back here. Whoopsers. Um, it's always intense. It is. It is intense. Right, Mr. What a soft floofy. You're soft and floofy as a cloud. Yes, Mr. Floofaloofas. Watch out, Delphine might try to eat your dress. I know, my brand new dress. Crystal, she don't care if it's brand new, first time I worn it. She will try that out and see how it if she likes the flavor. Um, it does look like it has flowers that you could eat that are delectable flowers. But yeah, what do you guys think? This is my Krispy Kreme. Check this out. This is a nice dress, but I got it for pennies on the dollar because it's used, it's resale clothing. But I just thought this was cute. I thought it was kind of festive, kind of fun, and it's like the last hurrah for the summer. I don't know how long our summery weather's going to last. It lasts for a long time though, because I'm not ready to be cold. I just don't, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. Well, yeah, I will. As soon as it gets really, I will complain. I don't know who I'm fooling, but, well, you know what? Let's put a positive spin on it. I'm enjoying the warm weather right now. In fact, it was hot today. It was actually hot and it's a little weird. A little weird. Um, Crispy, what are you saying? We had all the animals, lol, you had wire fox terriers, Yorkies, mini Yorkies. Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the oh gosh, Shelties, mini Shelties. You had Tibetan, um, is it the Lhasa and Polski? Oh my god, I don't even know, something Polish. Wolfgang Zinni. You asking? You really? The Afghan hound, huh? Obviously, they aren't all exotic. Okay, the Afghan hound, that's a rarity. Like, you don't see a lot of people having those these days. I know at one time they were kind of like the old Hollywood starlets would walk around with a beautiful, well, I don't know if I call them beautiful, but they were like kind of this a status symbol to walk around Afghan hounds. Do you want to know something weird? Wait, um, Crystal, you love dogs as much as I do bunny rabbits. Growing up, you had a Pomeranian poodle mix. Pom poodle? My gosh, what would that be like? Named Dust? Oh my goodness, Dusty. I think Dusty's like a dog. Wait, which one? Wait, you're Gwynnie. Where's okay? There's Dusty. Oh yeah, there's Big Dog. There's that big dog. She's all stretched. Look at this. From tip, from snout tip to tail. I mean, she is a long drink of water. Look at this girl. She's a big dog, and so is Sluggy Pants. What are they trying to eat the same sweet potato? Are you cuddling? Or are you guys trying to share a sweet potato? I think they're trying to eat the same sweet potato. Oh yeah, this is like fight. Oh, Dusty got it. Dusty, you need to share with your brother. You're both very large and in charge, and you need all the food. Dusty, she was trying to get that out of his mouth. And she did. She grabbed that sweet potato. Oh, and now Sluggy don't have any. When my dad was little, my grandma used to say that, oh yeah, when your dad was little, his brothers used to take all the food, and then he would say, I don't have any. Have any. Dad, are you watching the stream? Nanny. But guys, oh, what I was gonna say about the Afghan hounds. Um, but Crispy, we also had a Coton de Taylor. Oh my gosh. I have heard it's like heard of that. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to look it up. Um, Christy the Polski of anyway, got them shipped here from Poland. They do ear tattoos there like we do with bunny. Oh my. The Tibetan Hiapso. There were only 23 in the world outside of Tibet. Oh my gosh, really? And how did you get the Tibetan ones? Did they also come from Tibet? Or someone else? I guess maybe someone else in the US got had 'em? That's crazy. That is really fascinating. How did you guys end up with getting into the exotic breeds? A, B, I once had a boyfriend. This is the same boyfriend. I haven't had that many boyfriends, but like um, he's the guy who had the sister with the triplets that I took care of. But I once asked him, I'm like, if I was a dog breed, what dog would I be? I don't know why the heck I asked him that. And he was like, "You would be an Afghan hound." And I was so shocked. I'm like, I did not even remember that breed. But I think part of it's because I had the long hair. I don't know. But he said, yeah, Afghan hound. And I was just so shocked. I was like, wow, I did not even expect that. But and I don't even know what their personalities are. Because like that's part of it. I mean, I guess maybe he could be just going for the look. The long hair on the ears, I don't know. But I was surprised, and I never fully understood why. Um, yeah. Oh my gosh. H Punk, oh my gosh. You flatter me so. What the heck? AJ Punk would be my boyfriend? My Captain Kira's boyfriend? Oh, that is like huge compliment, AJ Punk. You're so nice. Why are you so nice, Captain? Um, yeah. Oh, tangled web we weave, people. Look at that. Here we got Donkey's eye framed through the Daniel Ozark, where are you? Where are you, Woody Woodland Loops? Look, I'm setting up some cool shots for you. Hello, I am Badonkadonk. I'm looking at the chat through my monocle. I look at you all through my monocle. I'm an older gentleman, and I need to always know I'm actually a young bunny, but I wear a monocle just for show because I am donkey, and I gaze at you through my monocle that's connected to the Bunz link within me brain, and I see all. Oh yes, I see everything through my monocle. Daniel Ozark, where are you? Oh my gosh, he hasn't been in the chat lately. Or maybe he's there, but he's just not chatting. Which is, you know, that's okay. But I miss you, Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, if you're around. Crispy, I'm not 100% sure where we got the Tibetan Kiapso, but I do know that she got here on a plane. Oh my gosh. Gotta drive to the airport to pick up some more dogs. Did they even do okay on like the ones from Poland, they went on an international flight? I don't even do well on international flights. I barely survive. My poor body is like, "No, you cannot sit for 8 hours. Forget that." My mom is a breeder and was always trying to get different breeds to make it was, like, interesting to her. I'm guessing it was really fascinating for her, but it was like a business. Like, she was like, "Hey, I love dogs, but, like, let's try to make money off of it." Okay, I think I get it. Restorian, our beloved giant branch historian and valedictorian. He is just driven in from Lothlorien in his DeLorean. And he's dressed as the Mandalorian, and he time traveled into an era that was Victor. I was trying to remember that new part. Mr. Prestorian. When he gets, oh wait, listening to chants in his time traveling DeLorean, Gregorian, while playing his accordion with only one arm so he doesn't crash his car. And when he gets home to his girlfriend, who just happens to be a gorgeous Salvadorian, she's making homemade Samorian. After they watch giant buns and munch on their Samorians, they'll be a snoring with all of the giant bunzerinos, and he'll never be boring, even when he's a snoring. And okay, I was trying to remember the time travel to the era Victorian. So yeah, Prestorian, we're coming up with more verses for you. This is going to be a whole musical based on Prestorian. Oh my gosh. Are you aware? I gotta look up this guy's name. Wait, hang on. Where can I look this up? There is a musical group from, like, it's from the '50s, and it's someone Preston and the Prestonians. Are you aware of that group? But it was cute. It was the Prestonians, and I totally thought of you, when I was hearing about this, musical group, Prestorian. But your original name, your birth name, there's a musical group, Someone Preston and the Prestonians. I thought that was cute. And this was all before internet. Oh my gosh. And at the time, there were certain cages that they had to use, and they went in with the cargo. Oh yeah. I remember my dog one time flew from Florida to Chicago there and back, and she had to go in the cargo in her little I mean, it was a dog carrier, but it had to be like a certain kind and size, and they put like food and water in there. I was so young. I was like just barely, an adult, and I was like, "Oh yeah, my dog's here." And they were like, "Miss, you need food and water in that cage." And I was like, "Oh, I just, I was clueless." But now I feel terrible for putting my dog through that, you know? She was Crispy, she was the "I need the best of everything" person, even with dogs. Oh my. Oh my, she sounds like a piece of work, Crispy. I'm so curious. I've never met your mother. I know that's a loaded statement. We all have our family things. Oh man. I believe she breeds French Bulldog. Oh, the Frenchies, those are that's a dog breed that kind of went viral, or whatever you want to call it, got really popular, but it still seems to be very hot breed to have. Um, let's maybe go back over here. I want to read. Do you guys want to hear part of 1984? I am about to start. We had just gotten to part three. We haven't started it yet. But since we've got AJ and we've got a bunch of you here, um, I always like to kind of let you guys weigh in. But I'm not falling asleep currently, although right before the stream I certainly was. I was Crispy. I don't know if you were here, but I almost fell asleep right before the stream. I was just sitting in bed. I was so tired, and I just did not want to get up. I was like snoozing my alarm. I left the house at what time? 8:30-ish, and I wasn't really home until like 6. Just kind of look at this lineup. Look at this. Look at this luxury bunny. Look at this beautiful boy. Sluggy Pants. He's my gentle giant koala boy. We got the koala face over here. Yeah, I'm a koala face boy. I have a koala snout. Yes, I do. I'm just super cute. Yeah, you're cute too. You're not, what are you, chopped liver? What are you, chopped liver, Mr. Papa Rabbit? Yes, you're a sweetheart. Yeah, you and Delphine. Oh my gosh. Just the original giant buns. And who knew your babies would be this big? It's a lot. It's a lot, right, Dusty? It's a lot of bunny. It's a lot. Some big buns. We've got big buns, jolly, jolly big buns. We've got big buns to last us all our life. Yes, there is a band called the Prestonians. It's someone Preston, like not Robert Preston, although Robert Preston was the original, he was the original Harold Hill in the Music Man. That's where, in fact, the Music Man is where that song, Marion, the Librarian. That's where I get your theme song, Prestorian. Um, Crispy, you'll never meet her. I'm sorry to bring that up. Haven't talked to her in, oh my, 18 years. Whoa, okay. All right. Okay. You know what? Sometimes we have to do what's healthiest. And I get that. Yeah. I don't want to go into Crispy's personal life, but Crispy and I know things about each other. We talk, we chat, we gab. You know what? We confide in each other, and that's why one of the reasons, like, I trust Christy with, I'll tell her stuff, and she can tell me stuff. That is a trusted friend. She is one of my nearest and dearest. So, um, you'll never. But I'm sorry to laugh, but you're like, you'll never meet her. um, but guys, do we want to read 1984? Who wants to read 1984? But yeah, Prestonian, I wish I could remember his first name, but look up someone Preston and the Prestonians. If you look up like Preston and the Prestonians, you should find it. It's a guy from the 50s. I think that they did like they might have been rockabilly or something like that. You'll have to just give it a look, or I'll look it up after the stream, and I'll put a link up in John Bone's music. Why the heck have I not been posting any music in Giant Bunz music? Part of the reason is just I do not have the time to play around with music. Oh boy. Sometimes I feel like I just am too busy. Um, it wasn't my decision. Oh, wait, what? Oh my gosh. These phones. That's a little scary. Okay. Hey, you know what? We can't choose our family. We cannot choose our biological family. And sometimes yeah, it's difficult, you know? Difficult for so many people, you know? Um, I have another close friend who I went through the whole thing with her when she actually had to go no contact with her family because it was not healthy. And it was very it was she knew that it was the right decision, but it was really hard. And she needed to also find, like, the right way to do it, and it involved, like, letter writing and stuff, and then having to, like, contact all the peripheral family to let them know too. It was stressful for her, but in the end, it I think it kinda saved her mental health, so I'll tell you the story sometime. At this point, it's better this way. Ok yeah, I would love to hear the story, definitely next time. You're back? Well, AJ Punk, if you're back, let's start part 3 of 1984. What do you say, AJ? Here, let me, I'm just gonna do it because we're already at 8:55, so I wanna get into it a little bit. You don't have to do a ton. Have to do a ton, people, but I'll use this bowl while I search for it. Wait a minute. If I want to ruin my mic though, gotta make sure that hi. Oh, just guys, I'm just trying to prop up the phone. They're all excited because I'm messing with their food bowl. Oh, it's now. Oh boy. Don't eat the phone, please. Try to avoid eating the phone. Okay, AJ's like 1984. Okay, now that AJ Punk has agreed to 1984, this is what then we can do it. We've got to listen to the Punk. Okay. Oh, part 3, chapter 1, it just popped up. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I can't remember. It's been too long since I read it. I'm kind of nervous though because I don't think, not talk about healthy environments. 1984, not the healthiest environment for these people. Okay, part 3, chapter 1 of 1984 by Mr. George Orwell. Thank you for writing this, Mr. Orwell. He did not know where he was. Presumably, he was in the Ministry of Love. There was no way of making certain. He was in a high-ceilinged, windowless cell with walls of glittering white porcelain. Concealed lamps flooded it with cold light, and there was a low, steady humming sound which he supposed had something to do with the air supply. A bench or shelf just wide enough to sit on ran round the wall, broken only by the door, and at the end opposite the door, a lavatory pan with no wooden seat. There were 4 telescreens, one in each wall. Oh dear, this does not sound good. This does not sound festive or fun. There was a dull aching in his belly. It had been there ever since they had bundled him into the closed van and driven him away. But he was also hungry, with a gnawing, unwholesome kind of hunger. It might be 24 hours since he had eaten. It might be 36. He still did not know, probably never would know, whether it had been morning or evening when they arrested him. Since he was arrested, he had not been fed. He sat still as he could on the narrow bench, with his hands crossed on his knee. He had already learned to sit still. If you made unexpected movements, they yelled at you from the telescreen. But the craving for food was growing upon him. What he longed for above all was a piece of bread. He had an idea that there were a few breadcrumbs in his pocket of his overalls. It was even possible, he thought, or it was even possible. He thought this because from time to time something seemed to tickle his leg, that there might be a sizable bit of crust there. In the end, the temptation to find out overcame his fear. He slipped a hand into his pocket. Smith, yelled a voice from the telescreen. 6079 Smith W. Hands out of your pockets in the cells. He sat still again, his hands crossed on his knee. Before being brought here, he had been taken to another place, which must have been an ordinary prison or a temporary lockup used by the patrols. He did not know how long he had been there. Some hours at any rate, with no clocks and no daylight. It was hard to gauge time. It was a noisy, evil-smelling place. They had put him into a cell similar to the one he was in now, but filthily dirty and at all times crowded by 10 to 15 people. The majority of them were common criminals, but there were a few political prisoners among them. He had sat silent against the wall, jostled by dirty bodies, too preoccupied by fear, um, too preoccupied by fear and the pain in his belly to take much interest in his surroundings, but still noticing the astonishing difference in demeanor between the party prisoners and the others. The party prisoners were always silent and terrified, but the ordinary criminals seemed to care nothing for anybody. They yelled insults at the guards, fought back fiercely when their belongings were impounded, wrote obscene words on the floor, ate smuggled food, which they produced from mysterious hiding places in their clothes, and even shouted down the telescreen when it tried to restore order. On the other hand, some of them seemed to be on good terms with the guards, called them by nicknames, and tried to wheedle cigarettes through the spy hole in the door. The guards, too, treated the common criminals with a certain forbearance, even when they had to handle them roughly. There was much talk about the forced labor camps to which most of the prisoners expected to be sent. It was, quote, all right in the camps, he gathered, so long as you had good contacts and knew the ropes. There was bribery, favoritism, and racketeering of every kind. There was homosexuality and prostitution. There was even illicit alcohol distilled from potatoes. The positions of trust were given only to the common criminals, especially the gangsters and the murderers, who formed a sort of aristocracy. All the dirty jobs were done by the political. There was a constant come and go of prisoners of every description: drug peddlers, thieves, bandits, black marketeers, drunks, prostitutes. Some of the drunks were so violent that the other prisoners had to combine to suppress them. An enormous wreck of a woman aged about 60, with great tumbling breasts and thick coils of white hair which had come down in her struggles, was carried in, kicking and shouting, by four guards who had to hold who had hold of one at, wait, who had hold of her, one at each corner. They wrenched off the boots with which she had been trying to kick them and dumped her down across Winston's lap, almost breaking his thigh bones. The woman hoisted herself upright and followed them out with a yell of "F sing bastards!" Then, noticing that she was sitting on something uneven, he slid off Winston's knees onto the bench. "Beg pardon, dearie," she said. "I wouldn't have sat on you, only the buggers put me there. They don't they don't know how to treat a lady, do they?" She paused, patted her breast, and belched. "Pardon," she said. "I ain't myself quite." She leaned forward and vomited copiously on the floor. Take a drink. All right. "That's better," she said, leaning back with closed eyes. "Never keep it down. That's what I say. Get it up while it's fresh on your stomach, like." She revived, turned to have another look at Winston, and seemed immediately to take a fancy to him. She put a vast arm round his shoulder and drew him towards her, breathing beer and vomit into his face. "What's your name, dearie?" she said. "Smith," said Winston. "Smith," said the woman. "It's funny. My name's Smith, too. Why," she added sentimentally, "I might be your mother." She might, thought Winston, be his mother. She was about the right age and physique, and it was probable that people changed somewhat after 20 years in a forced labor camp. No one else had spoken to him. To a surprising extent, the ordinary criminals ignored the party prisoners. The Polits, they called them, with a sort of uninterested contempt. The party prisoners seemed terrified of speaking to anybody, and above all, of speaking to one another. Only once, when two party members, both women, were pressed close together on the bench, he overheard amid the din of voices a few hurriedly whispered words, and in particular a reference to something called Room 101, which he did not understand. It might be 2 or 3 hours ago that they had brought him here. The dull pain in his belly never went away, but sometimes it grew better and sometimes worse, and his thoughts expanded or contracted accordingly. When it grew worse, he thought only of the pain itself and of his desire for food. When it grew better, panic took hold of him. There were moments when he foresaw the things that would happen to him with such actuality that his heart galloped and his breath stopped. He felt the smash of truncheons on his elbows and iron-shod boots on his shins. He saw himself groveling on the floor, screaming for mercy through broken teeth. He could not fix his mind on her. He loved her and would not betray her. But that was only a fact, known as he knew the rules of arithmetic. He felt no love for her, and he hardly even wondered what was happening to her. He thought oftener of O'Brien with a flickering hope. O'Brien might know that he had been arrested. The Brotherhood, he had said, never tried to save its members. But there was the razor blade. They would send the razor blade if they could. There would be perhaps 5 seconds before the guard could rush into the cell. The blade would bite into him with a sort of burning coldness, and even the finger that held it would be cut to the bone. Everything came back to his sick body, which shrank trembling from the smallest pain. He was not certain that he would use the razor blade, even if he got the chance. It was more natural to exist from moment to moment, accepting another 10 minutes' life, even with the certainty that there was torture at the end of it. Sometimes he tried to calculate the number of porcelain bricks in the walls of the cell. It should have been easy, but he always lost count at some point or another. More often, he wondered where he was and what time of day it was. At one moment, he felt certain that it was broad daylight outside, and at the next, equally certain that it was pitch darkness. In this place, he knew instinctively the lights would never be turned out. It was the place with no darkness. He saw now why O'Brien had seemed to recognize the illusion. In the Ministry of Love, there were no windows. His cell might be at the heart of the building or against its outer wall. It might be 10 floors below ground or 30 above it. He moved himself mentally from place to place and tried to determine by the feeling of his body whether he was perched high in the air or buried deep underground. There was a sound of marching boots outside. Steel door opened with a clang. A young officer, a trim, black uniformed figure who seemed to glitter all over with polished leather and whose pale, straight-featured face was like a wax mask, stepped smartly through the doorway. He motioned to the guards outside to bring in the prisoner they were leading. The poet, Ampleforth, shambled into the cell. The door clanged shut again. Ampleforth made one or two uncertain movements, side to side, as though having some idea that there was another door to go out of, and then began to wander up and down the cell. He had not yet noticed Winston's presence. His troubled eyes were gazing at the wall about a meter above the level of Winston's head. He was shoeless. Large, dirty toes were sticking out of the holes in his socks. He was also several days away from a shave. A scrubby beard covered his face to the cheekbones, giving him an air of ruffianism. that went oddly with his large, weak frame and nervous movements. Winston roused himself a little from his lethargy. He must speak to Ampleforth and risk the yell from the telescreen. It was even conceivable that Ampleforth was the bearer of the razor blade. Ampleforth, he said. There was no yell from the telescreen. Ampleforth paused, mildly startled. His eyes focused themselves slowly on Winston. "Ah, Smith," he said, "you too. What are you in for? To tell you the truth," he sat down awkwardly on the bench opposite Winston. "There is only one offense, is there not?" he said, "and you have committed it." "Apparently I have." He put a hand to his forehead and pressed his temples for a moment as though trying to remember something. "These things happen," he began vaguely. "I have been able to recall one instance, possible instance. It was an indiscretion, undoubtedly. We were producing a definitive edition of the poems of Kipling. I allowed the word God to remain at the end of a line. I could not help it," he added, almost indignantly, raising his face to look at Winston. "It was impossible to change the line. The rhyme was rod. Do you realize that there are only 12 rhymes to rod in the entire language? For days I had racked my brains. There was no other rhyme." The expression on his face changed. Annoyance passed out of it, and for a moment he looked almost pleased. A sort of intellectual warmth, the joy of the pedant who has found out some useless fact, shone through the dirt and scrubby hair. "Has it ever occurred to you," he said, "that the whole history of English poetry has been determined by the fact that the English language lacks rhymes?" Not No, that particular thought had never occurred to Winston, nor in the circumstances did it strike him as very important or interesting. "Do you know what time of day it is?" he said. Ampleforth looked startled again. "I hardly thought about it. They arrested me. It could be 2 days ago, perhaps 3. His eyes flitted round the walls as though he half expected to find a window somewhere. "There is no difference between night and day in this place. I do not see how one can calculate the time." They talked desultor- they talked desultorily for some minutes. Then, without apparent reason, a yell from the telescreen bade them be silent. Winston sat quietly, his hands crossed. Ampleforth, too large to sit in comfort on the narrow bench, fidgeted from side to side, clasping his lank hands first round one knee, then round the other. The telescreen barked at him to keep still. Time passed. 20 minutes, an hour, it was difficult to judge. Once more there was a sound of boots outside. Winston's entrails contracted. Soon, very soon, perhaps in 5 minutes, perhaps now, the tramp of boots would mean that his own turn had come. The door opened. The cold-faced young officer stepped into the cell. With a brief movement of the hand, he indicated Ampleforth. "Room 101, he said. Ampleforth marched clumsily out between the guards, his face vaguely perturbed but uncomprehending. What seemed like a long time passed. The pain in Winston's belly had revived. His mind sagged round and round on the same trick, like a ball falling again and again into the same series of slots. He had only 6 thoughts. The pain in his belly, a piece of bread, the blood, and the screaming. O'Brien, Julia, the razor blade. There was another spasm in his entrails. The heavy boots were approaching. As the door opened, the wave of air it created brought in a powerful smell of cold. He was wearing khaki shorts and a sports shirt. This time, Winston was startled into self-forgetfulness. "You here," he said. Parsons gave Winston a glance in which there was neither surprise but misery. He began walking jerkily up and down, evidently unable to keep still. Each time he straightened his putting it apparent that they were trembling. His eyes had a wide-open, staring look. He could not prevent himself from gazing at something in the middle distance. "What are you in for?" said Winston. "Thought crime," said Parsons, almost blubbering. The tone of his voice implied at once a complete admission of his guilt and a sort of incredulous horror that such a word could be applied to himself. He paused opposite Winston and began eagerly appealing to him. "You don't think they'll shoot me, do you, old chap? They don't shoot you if you haven't actually done anything, only thoughts, which you can't help. I know they give you a fair hearing. Oh, bless them fat. They'll know my record, won't they? You know what kind of what kind of chap I was? Not a bad chap in any way. Not brainy, of course, but keen. I tried to do my best for the party, didn't I? Well, I'll get off with 5 years, don't you think, or even 10 years? A chap like me could make himself pretty useful in a labor camp. They wouldn't shoot me for going off the rails just once." "Are you guilty?" said Winston. "Of course I'm guilty," cried Parsons with a servile glance at the telescreen. "You don't think the party would arrest an innocent man, do you?" His frog-like face grew calmer and even took on a slightly sanctimonious expression. "It's insidious. It can get hold of you without your even knowing it. Do you know how it got hold of me? In my sleep. Yes, that's a fact. There I was, working away, trying to do my bit. Never knew I had any bad stuff in my mind at all, and then I started talking in my sleep. Do you know what they heard me saying?" He sank his voice like someone who is obliged for medical reasons to utter an obscenity. "Down with Big Brother. Yes, I said that. Said it over and over again, it seems. Between you and me, old man, I'm glad they got me before it went any further. Do you know what I'm going to say to them when I go up before the tribunal? Thank you. I'm going to say, thank you for saving me before it was too late." "Who denounced you?" said Winston. "It was my little daughter," said Parsons with a sort of doleful pride. "She listened at the keyhole, heard what I was saying, and nipped off to the patrols the very next day. Pretty smart for a nipper of 7, eh? I don't bear her any grudge for it. Fact, I'm proud of her. Shows I brought her up in the right spirit anyway." He made a few more jerky movements up and down several times, casting a longing glance at the lavatory pan. Then he suddenly ripped down his shorts. "Excuse me, old man," he said. "I can't help it. It's the waiting." He plumped his large posterior into the lavatory pan. Winston covered his face with his hands. "Smith," yelled the voice from the telescreen. 6079, Smith W. Uncover your face. No faces covered in the cells." Winston uncovered his face. Parsons used the lavatory loudly and abundantly. It then turned out that the plug was defective, and the cell stank abominably for hours afterwards. Parsons was removed. More prisoners came and went mysteriously. One, a woman, was consigned to room 101, and Winston noticed seemed to shrivel and turn a different color when she heard the words. A time came when, if it had been morning when he was brought here, it would be afternoon, or if it had been afternoon, then it would be midnight. There were 6 prisoners in the cell, men and women. All sat very still. Opposite Winston, there sat a man with a chinless, toothy face, exactly like that of some large, harmless rodent. Fat, mottled cheeks were so pouched at the bottom that it was difficult not to believe that he had little stores of food tucked away there. His pale gray eyes flitted timorously from face to face and turned quickly away again when he caught anyone's eye. The door opened and another prisoner was brought in, whose appearance sent a momentary chill through Winston. He was a commonplace, mean-looking man who might have been an engineer or technician of some kind. But what was startling was the emaciation of his face. It was like a skull. Because of its thinness, the mouth and eyes looked disproportionately large, and the eyes seemed filled with a murderous, unappeasable hatred of somebody or something. The man sat down at the bench at a little distance from Winston. Winston did not look at him again, but the tormented, skull-like face was as vivid in his mind, though it had been as though it had been straight in front of his eyes. Suddenly, he realized what was the matter. The man was dying of starvation. The same thought seemed to occur almost simultaneously to everyone in the cell. There was a very faint stirring all the way round the bench. The eyes of the chinless man kept flitting towards the skull-faced man, then turning guiltily away, then being dragged back by an irresistible attraction. Presently he began to fidget on his seat. At last he stood up, waddled clumsily across the cell, dug down into the pocket of his overalls, and with an abashed air, held out a grimy piece of bread to the skull-faced man. There was a furious, deafening roar from the telescreen. The chinless man jumped in his track. The skull-faced man had quickly thrust his hands behind his back as though demonstrating to all the world that he refused the gift. Bumstead, roared the voice. 2713, Bumstead J. Let fall that piece of bread. The chinless man dropped the piece of bread on the floor. Remain standing where you are, said the voice. Face the door. Make no movement. The chinless man obeyed. His large, pouchy cheeks were quivering uncontrollably. The door clanged open. As the young officer entered and stepped aside, there emerged from behind him a short, stumpy guard with enormous arms and shoulders. He took his stand opposite the chinless man, and then, at a signal from the officer, let free a frightful blow with all the weight of his body behind it, full in the chinless man's mouth. The force of it seemed almost to knock him clear of the floor. His body was flung across the cell and fetched up against the base of the lavatory seat. For a moment he lay as though stunned, with dark blood oozing from his mouth and nose. A very faint whimpering or squeaking, which seemed unconscious, came out of him. Then he rolled over and raised himself unsteadily on hands and knees. Amid a stream of blood and saliva, the two halves of a dental plate fell out of his mouth. The prisoners sat very still, their hands crossed on their knees. The chinless man climbed back into his place. Down one side of his face the flesh was darkening. His mouth had swollen into a shapeless cherry-colored mass, with a black hole in the middle of it. From time to time, a little blood dripped onto the breast of his overalls. His gray eyes still flitted from face to face more guiltily than ever, as though he were trying to discover how much the others despised him for his humiliation. The door opened. With a small gesture, the officer indicated the skull-faced man. Room 101, he said. There was a gasp and a flurry at Winston's side. The man had actually flung himself on his knees on the floor with his hand clasped together. Comrade, officer, he cried, you don't have to take me to that place. Haven't I told you everything already? What else is it you want to know? There's nothing I wouldn't confess, nothing. Just tell me what it is and I'll confess straight off. Write it down and I'll sign it. Anything, not room 101. Room 101, said the officer. The man's face, already very pale, turned a color Winston would not have believed possible. It was definitely, unmistakably a shade of green. "Do anything to me," he yelled. "You've been starving me for weeks. Finish it off and let me die. Shoot me, hang me, sentence me to 25 years. Is there somebody else you want me to give away? Just say who it is and I'll tell you anything you want. I don't care who it is or what you do to them. I've got a wife and 3 children. The biggest of them isn't 6 years old. You can take the whole lot of them and cut their throats in front of my eyes, and I'll stand by and watch it, but not room 101. Room 101, said the officer. The man looked frantically round at the other prisoners as though with some idea that he could put another victim in his own place. His eyes settled on the smashed face of the chinless man. He flung out a lean arm. "That's the one you ought to be taking, not me," he shouted. "You didn't hear what he was saying after they bashed his face. Give me a chance and I'll tell you every word of it. He's the one that's against the party, not me." The guard stepped forward. The man's voice rose to a shriek. "You didn't hear him," he repeated. "Something went wrong with the telescreen. He's the one you want. Take him, not me." The 2 sturdy guards had stooped to take him by the arms. But just at this moment, he flung himself across the floor of the cell and grabbed one of the iron legs that supported the bench. He had set up a wordless howling like an animal. The guards took hold of him to wrench him loose, but he clung on with astonishing strength. For perhaps 20 seconds they were hauling at him. The prisoners sat quiet, their hands crossed on their knees, looking straight in front of them. The howling stopped. The man had no breath left for anything except hanging on. Then there was a different kind of cry. A kick from a guard's boot had broken the fingers of one of his hands. They dragged him to his feet. Whoops. "Room 101, said the officer. The man was let out, walking unsteadily with head sunken, nursing his crushed hand. All the fight had gone out of him. A long time passed. If it had been midnight when the skull-faced man was taken away, it was morning. If morning, it was afternoon. Winston was alone, and had been alone for hours. The pain of sitting on the narrow bench was such that often he got up and walked about, unreproved by the telescreen. The piece of bread still lay where the chinless man had dropped it. At the beginning, it needed a hard effort not to look at it, but presently, hunger gave way to thirst. His mouth was sticky and evil tasting. The humming sound in the unvarying white light induced a sort of faintness, an empty feeling inside his head. He would get up because the ache in his bones was no longer bearable, and then would sit down again almost at once because he was too dizzy to make sure of staying on his feet. Whenever his physical sensations were a little under control, the terror returned. Sometimes, with a fading hope, he thought of O'Brien and the razor blade. It was unthinkable that the razor blade might arrive concealed in his food, if he were ever fed. More dimly, he thought of Julia. Somewhere or other, she was suffering, perhaps far worse than he. She might be screaming with pain at this moment. He thought, if I could save Julia by doubling my own pain, would I do it? Yes, I would. But that was merely an intellectual decision, taken because he knew that he ought to take it. He did not feel it. In this place, you could not feel anything except pain and foreknowledge of pain, because it was possible when you were actually suffering it to wish for any reason that your own pain should increase. But that question was not answerable yet. The boots were approaching again. The door opened. O'Brien came in. Winston started to his feet. The shock of the sight had driven all caution out of him. For the first time in many years, he forgot the presence of the telescreen. "They've got you too," he cried. "They got me a long time ago," said O'Brien with a mild, almost regretful irony. He stepped aside. From behind him there emerged a broad-chested guard with a long black truncheon in his hand. "You know him, Winston," said O'Brien. "Don't deceive yourself. You did know it. You have always known it." Yes, he saw now. He had always known it. There was no time to think of that. All he had eyes for was the truncheon in the guard's hand. It might fall anywhere, on the crown, on the tip of the ear, on the upper arm, on the elbow. The elbow. He had slumped to his knees, almost paralyzed, clasping the stricken elbow with his other hand. Everything had exploded into yellow light. Inconceivable, inconceivable that one blow could cause such pain. The light cleared, and he could see the other two looking down at him. The guard was laughing at his contortions. One question, at any rate, was answered. Never, for any reason on earth, could you wish for an increase of pain. Of pain, you could only wish one thing, that it should stop. Nothing in the world was so bad as physical pain. In the face of pain, there are no heroes. No heroes, he thought over and over as he writhed on the floor, clutching uselessly at his disabled left arm. Oh boy. That's the end of part 3, chapter 1, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is tough. This is tough, guys. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Lillian in the chat, guys. Lillian, mi amigo bonita, chiquita bonita. Das, Lillian. Experimenting with mustard, I'm sure. Triple R, I know, I was just thinking that, AJ. Where is she never showed up? She texted me today a couple of times. She was having kind of a rough day. Kristen, if you're listening, I'm sorry you had a rough day. I hope you liked all the advice I gave you about using fart spray against people who are annoying you. She kept having people who were like messing with her today, like touching her and like, like I think teasing. I don't know. And I told her first use words, then tell the teachers, and then I said, because she was like, I'm just gonna smack them, and I was like, well, you could kick them if nothing else works. And then I was like, wait, what about fart spray? So I'm giving my adopted daughter first class advice. Top tier. Lily, oh my gosh, Lillian. So the person Lillian gave me so much of her time today. And I didn't really have time to thank her properly because I only had a couple of minutes to read the text that you sent me today, Lillian, regarding bunny health. My ballet teacher has had some trouble, pretty serious trouble with her boy rabbit. And he's like 8 years old, he's getting a little older, and he was like living outside for a lot of the summer, and the summer was really brutally hot and humid. So anyway, he had developed some health issues, and he's been getting treated by a vet for a while. And but we consulted Lillian today for bunny health advice for kind of a specific problem, and she went to bat for us, and she had all kinds of great information, and had dealt with this issue before. And so anyway, we read all of your stuff that you sent us, and she appreciated that so much. And she is a wonderful person, and so I was really happy to be able to help her, and I've been really concerned about her bunny rabbit. and he's 8 years old, so, I would be I'm even more worried because he's a little bit older, you know? Say her name and she appears. Oh my goodness, Kristen Shine, Star Triple R, Kristen Shine, Star. She travels near, she travels far. She's Christian Cheyenne Star Triple R Ranch dressing smoothie K Dog, aka the Mustard Queen. Ba-da-bum, ba-dum-bum. I hope at least a nibble of that info is helpful. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. She wrote down the name of the special vitamin that you told her about, the supplement, and we just read everything together, and I told her, and about the hay and water fast for 2 weeks, and you know, we how she should, make sure with the vet before she starts the hay and water fast, and also that she should weigh him and check his, make sure he's not getting emaciated and losing weight and all that. So it was excellent advice, and I knew none of that. Lillian, I knew nothing about the health condition, with the whole bladder thing. Um, so Kristen Cheyenne Star, are you okay? Because we were just talking about you. What, Dusty? What? I just got this. It's a used dress that I got from resale, but still. Did you just poke a hole? Did you rip a hole in the back of my dress? She was pulling on my dress, guys. She climbed up on my back. You guys could probably see from the long shot cameras. She climbed up on my back and started pulling on my dress with her little teeth. Dusty, what did you do? What did you do, Dusty girl? Oh boy. Well, guys, Kristen, sorry. I'm gonna have to wrap up the stream pretty soon because it is getting late. It's getting later. You're not okay? Ooh, I kind of wondered because I didn't see you in the chat, Kristen. I'm sorry. Um, Hi, Hula Mall, Wes and Crystal and Lillian and Keeks Majeeks Decay down. You guys are so sweet. So glad to be of any use. Oh my gosh, Lillian. Like, you got back to me so quickly, and it was perfect because I needed to be able to show her all of this, like, right as ballet was ending, because she had a meeting that she had to go to, and, it worked out so perfectly. And I told her that I would also, like, copy and paste and, like, forward it to her, which I'm gonna see her tomorrow morning first thing, so, we'll just do that together, like, I'll copy and paste everything to her if she needs it. But, I should just get, like we I should have her join Discord. I mean, she might be on Discord, I don't know, but we should form, like, a bunny group with, I was gonna have you form a bunny group with Jack and Kat from Waffle Cone and me. Ugh, no, they don't have their rabbits anymore, oh my gosh. I'm very sad about that, I'm still very sad about that. They lost 2 rabbits very close together. Lillian, I can't remember if you knew that, but, had a lot of rabbit tragedies and sadness, um, in the last, oh, boy. Um, we can talk in VC? Yeah, we could. I don't know if I can tonight. AJ, after the stream, I am usually so tired. Um, but anyone can talk in the VC, and I might be able to who knows? I don't I know that I had a hard time getting the stream set up tonight. I was falling asleep before the stream. And a weird thing was I wasn't necessarily falling asleep. You know what it was? It was mainly physical resting because my muscles are just tired. But, I hope things get better for you, Kristen. I know, Crystal, I know. I've been really, Kristen, I'm worried for you. I'm worried, and I've been trying to give you advice, but honestly, I don't know if I'm helpful to you, and I'm really touched that you confide in me, and I don't know, but I don't know if I'm helping you at all. I think Kristen, this is one of my ideas for Kristen. And I think I may have mentioned it before that I would like Kristen to apply for the foreign high school, whoopsie, student exchange program and like do something exciting with in a different country where she gets to experience all kinds of exciting, fun things and eat amazing foreign food and meet all kinds of people that are totally different and totally different experience than she's having now. And I just I don't know, that's just what came to mind. I never did that when I was in high school, but, I know people who did it, and it was, like, changed their lives. I mean, it was, like, the best thing they ever did. I never really heard of a bad experience. I mean, I'm sure there could be. There could be. But I think they check families out that wanna do this, and I think they only choose ones that they think are gonna be, like, a really positive experience for exchange students to live with these people. So, whoops. I don't know. I think the fart spray was good advice, though, Kristen. What do you think about that? So she's going to become a foreign exchange student, and before she gets to be a foreign exchange student, she's just going to arm herself with fart spray. And if people are mean to her at school and they start touching her and trying to beat her up, and none of the teachers will help her, she can always get the fart spray out, and then no one can ignore that. Right? Right, Donkey? Yeah. Donkey's like, "That's solid advice." He's like, "I will rip their faces off, Kristen, if they keep it up. He's like, "If the fart spray doesn't work, you bring in the donks." Donkey, what are you doing? I keep trying to get you in the camera, and you keep going and hiding behind me. You want to do Heidi's? Oh, is this a giant crook? Oh, he don't want it. Nope, you don't want it. Okay, we got Teeny showing her belly. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Oh, we're gonna do stretching. We're gonna do pretty boy stretching. Oh, yes, we are. Pretty boy. You're such a pretty boy. So, Kristen, are you saying anything more? Just realized this month would have been Dinky's fifth birthday. Oh my gosh, was he only 4? Oh, that breaks my heart. Oh gosh. I don't like that. Oh man. Yeah, I'll fight him. Oh, Uncle Punk's you know what? Bring in the punk when all else fails and you're feeling like nothing can help you. You bring in the punk. The AJ Punk, Midwestern wrestling hunk. How am I gonna get back over here? Um, Goodness. Gonna have to step in the litter box. Oh well. It's okay. Full of pine pellets. Actually pretty clean. Okay, there we go. But guys, woo, let's I mean, if Kristen, if you wanna say anything else or anyone else wants to say anything, go ahead and we'll start wrapping up the stream. I don't have any cookies, you guys. Amazon was supposed to deliver them. Maybe they keep last night they delivered part of my order and it was like after dark. It's okay, I guess. I don't know. But then today I needed some stuff, one of which being a case of cookies, a 4-pack of the cookies, and I don't know where those are, but I also need a couple other things, and they were not here. So, I don't know. Amazon keeps bragging about how fast they are, but, I don't know, maybe a lot of people are ordering from Amazon right now, who knows? It's not like we're having, like, wacky weather or something. You know, am I a spoiled American? I'm like, "Oh, Amazon, come on, you should be delivering right away." I mean, but then, I mean, let's face it, that's kinda why we all I mean, I have Amazon Prime, I pay for it, right? Um, at school, the power went out. Was that intent was did some, like, student manage that? Or was that just a technical difficulty? Because my power didn't go out. That's curious. Did they, like, send you outside? Did classes get to stop temporarily? Did the lunch ladies freak out, like, they couldn't, keep cooking the school lunches? And the you know what? Let's face it, not just the lunch ladies, the lunch gentle boys too. Ladies and gentle boys who make the lunch. I miss school cafeteria food these days. It's still atrocious. There's still, like, mystery meat and, like, weird, like, wacky stuff that's, like, totally, like, low budget. Or do they have, like, organic salads now? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. Oh, but you guys, I made speaking of food, I made a homemade hummus, and I added some kind of kimchi that had, like, carrots and onion in it, and, it was awesome, and I still have some left over, so I did, like, chickpeas and tahini, some toasted sesame oil, some olive oil, tons of lemon juice, and I added this kimchi that had, cabbage. Cabbage kimchi is like cabbage, but then they had some carrots and onion in it. Um, and then I put a ton of of fresh garlic, and I made it last night. So I had some last night. And then I go to ballet first thing this morning, and I'm getting to the part of ballet where we're doing jumps and turns and we're going across the floor. We're all sweating like crazy. And we're breathing, we're like huffing and puffing, and all of a sudden I realized I can smell my breath. It wasn't like death breath, like rotten breath or anything like that, like, "Oh, you didn't brush your teeth." It was just garlic. You could just smell this garlic air of garlic around me, and I was like the 2 girls that I was dancing with, the 2 gals who were, like, my usual dance partners, like a small group of us that do all the dance across the floor together. I was like, "You guys, I am so sorry." I'm like, "I made hummus with fresh garlic, and I can smell the garlic, so I'm very sorry because I know that you guys are, like, getting hit with it." And they were just like they didn't say like, "Oh, no, we can't smell you." They were just like, "Okay." So, yeah, I was a garlic ballerina this morning. Amazon Day is coming up. Oh, I wonder about that. Okay. Donkey about to chase down the next Amazon truck? I know, you guys. I was so excited last night. I told the Amazon guy, I'm like, "My bunnies are gonna be so excited. I'm sure you've brought their cookies because I thought the cookies were supposed to come right away, you know? They're just, um, you listening?" But then it wasn't the cookies. It was boring stuff, very boring stuff. Makes my eye so itchy. Um, allergies still going on, guys. I feel like allergies may be kicking my energy levels too. Um, we had to stay in the class that we were in. Oh, that's boring. I thought maybe they like let you run around outside. I like the mystery meat. Haha, the pizza is the best school lunch food. Yeah, the pizza's never good at school, but it was like one of the only things I would eat. I do remember that. But that was in junior high because by the time I got into high school, I was a vegetarian, and I don't think they had, like I think they always had, like, sausage or something on it, I don't know. But I don't think they ever had, like, plain cheese pizza, which is kinda crazy. But I when I was a freshman, there was something that I ate at the school cafeteria, I don't remember what it was, but it was so disturbing and just absolutely gross. I never ate again. I the only thing I ever ate again at the school cafeteria was a bagel with cream cheese or french fries. I never would try an entree because I don't even remember what it was, but it was something extremely bad was wrong with it, and I was not a picky eater at all. So there was just something was very wrong, and I don't think anyone cared about their what they were how they were cooking stuff at this cafeteria. They were kind of mean and ornery people that worked there, and I don't think they wanted to be there at all, and, I felt like they were almost, like, abusing us with the how terrible food was. Have you guys ever read, like, the Captain Underpants books where they talk about, like, the school cafeteria food, like, coming to life into, like, monsters? That's the kind of food we had. Like, when I read that, I was like, "Yep, yep, I know about that kind of food. It's so terrifying that it is like could turn into a living monster and walk away, and take over the world." I can get pizza every day. You can? Oh gosh. Jeez, times have changed. One thing I don't miss about school is the caffeine. I know. The smell, I can like the smell of like washed cafeteria trays, like the hot, steamy trays mixed with like the greasy, gross food, like that was rinsed off of it. I don't know. That that smell kind of can come back to my mind and it's depressing. Oh, we're doing ear lickies and we clean each other's ears. That's so nice. Oh, we're gonna go into a bunny pile up on aisle bunch. Teeny's off on her own because she's difficult to get along with. And she has a nice curly tail, but and then we got this lover boy. Oh, he's just a boy. Little gray. He's never had a bad day in his life. He's always been sweet as pie. And you're allowed to have a bad day, little gray. You can. But I just don't know why you're so sweet and chill all the time. You've been like that from the day you were born. He's a content boy. Oh, and he gives me his snout. He gives his snout for pet. Yes, you're a heartbreaker. You're just a heartbreaker. That's that. Yes, I love you. Sweetest boy. It's a little snaggle snout from getting your face ripped by donkers. Donkey, did you do that? Did you do that, donkers? You would never guess that Donkey would be that violent when he's just a white foofball who loves humans. Yes, you read Captain Underpants. I love those books. The heck? Dave Pilkey is hilarious. He is just plain hilarious. I love that guy. Race car spelt backwards is race car. Wait, oh, no way. How did you know that, Kristen? I never heard about that one. Race car. Oh, crazy palindrome. Cray cray. Well, Kristen, we all here at Giant Buns, we hope you feel better tomorrow. Have a better day. But you know what? I feel like you need to be a little more proactive and don't let people pick on you and come at you and keep coming up and touching you. Just walk away or figure out something else to do and hang out with different people or just go and be by yourself or hang out with a teacher. You gotta just like jump out of the situations more that you get in because I feel like you get into the same situations, same people every day. Remove yourself from the situation, you know? And if all else fails, march yourself down to the principal's office and just say, listen, I am sick of what's going on here. I'm not getting help from my counselor. I'm not getting help from my teachers. Like, you know what I mean? You are a big, bold woman, girl, and you got this. But you gotta, gotta throw your weight around a little bit, girl. Taco cat, taco cat. I have this vision of like this some like weird superhero in a cape, like a cat superhero called Taco Cat. Radar. I never noticed that kind of stuff. My brain just doesn't pick up on it, you know. Um, that's so cool. I knew someone. I don't know if I've ever said this on the stream before. I had a roommate in college. She had a boyfriend, and they had met in college, but he was doing an internship in Washington, DC, so they wrote each other letters back and forth. And they were both brilliant, but they were totally nerdy. They were like journalism majors, and so they wrote each other back and forth only in palindromes. Every word had to be a palindrome, and I think even the sentences themselves, I don't know. They wrote in palindromes, and I was like, "Oh boy, you guys." I thought they were nuts. But I thought they were brilliant and nuts. Um, it was kinda cute. It was kinda cute. Civic, oh yeah, kayaks. Yeah. Kayak was the one that, you said. Civic. Honda Civic is a palindrome. Noon. Okay, I know that, like, pop, mom, dad, Bob, tetter-a-tat, 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 like a drum. Pup, poop, dud, um, cut, um, yeah, I don't know, I can't think of any more, but, I I should do a stream all in palindromic words. I will never be able to do that, but, I'd have to script my entire stream. You drive a Honda Civic 2018? Do you? Yeah, I think we talked about that because those are really good cars. They are easy to fix, their parts are cheap and available. That's smart. It's really smart. If I was smart, I would probably be driving that too, Fuel and Mall, but I'm driving difficult to fix, um, and expensive to find. Well, for one of the cars, expensive parts. The other car is just hard to find parts. Um, Hippopotam monstrous equipadaliophobia. That's not a palindrome. We're doing palindromes, Kristen. I was thinking that was the world's longest palindrome, and you really, really you ruined it for me. I was very excited. Poop is a palindrome. It is. Who knew? Who knew that a palindrome uh was such a common part of our lives? I did not know that. What about Pete? Beep, beep, beep. chickens. It's my new dress. It is my new dress. Yeah. You and Mal, did we both come up? Great minds think alike. Oh, yay. Y-A-Y. Yay is a palindrome. Lol is a palindrome. Laugh out loud, lol. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. It is now 10 o'clock. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Okay, this is, I mean, I love you guys to death and still have 9 people. I mean, God love you, people. And I just don't want to wear myself out too much because I got to get up. Tuesday is an earlier day than Monday. But the good news is I will have some time at home in the afternoon. I'm so excited. So I will be able to do more with the bunny room. And oh my gosh, wait, I might be able to get them outside. I hope I can. I don't know. Is it Krispy Kreme? Are you still here? Or wait, all my local, all my local gals. What? Which is Crispy and Kristen. Wait, do we have any? My local. I think those are the only 2 local people. Is it supposed to be real hot tomorrow, like it was today? I think today was too hot, a little too hot for the buns to be out. Time flies when you're having fun. It does, Crystal. I mean, like, I love you guys and I love talking. And you guys are so interesting. And I mean, of course, and I'm hanging out with my bunnies and it is like the best part of my day, you guys. So thank you for being like the reason that I get to have a best part of my day. Um, Wait, okay, is this real? Or are you making this up, Kristen? Like, okay, what does that mean? Because that does not sound like a word we have in English. Is that from another language? I mean, that's fine if it's from another language, but is it real, Kristen? It's supposed to be 82 tomorrow. Okay, thanks, Kristen. 82? Okay, that 82 is like right around the cutoff where if they're in the shade, it's okay, but it's a little hot. Like today, I don't even know how hot it was, but like Saturday ended up being 87. What the heck? We're almost in October and it was like 87. Texas now. Doing mall. We're like Historian. The weather, we're like being shoved down into Texas territory. Which would be fun to be close to Hewlin Mall and, Historian, but you know. Looks like a Greek word. Yeah, it does. Yes, you're right. Long street. Can't stop talking. Someone control me. Someone turn me off. I'm jealous, Kristen. It's going to be in the 90s. Oh gosh. Kristen Cheyenne Star sent an image. Uh-oh. You need rest. I know. I know. I'm gonna leave the house. Well, you know what? Thing is, I'm gonna leave the house at 8:30 again. So it's technically not early an early day for me. I don't know what I was saying, but I gotta start dancing earlier. Which I think that's what I was thinking of. Oh no, did I just get like hot chili pepper in my eye? I think that's what it is. I've been eating all these like hot chili pepper flakes And yeah, I gotta be careful when I rub my eye after handling those. Jeez Louise. It means a dealer. Huh? Okay. It was 88. What? It was because I had to take off. I was wearing like a little I guess you call like a spaghetti strap dress. Like it was not very much of a dress, but it was long, maxi dress. I don't know what they call them, but like the dresses I usually wear. And I had like a sweater over it and all this stuff because I had to be, inside in air conditioning buildings today. But man, when I went back to my car in the parking lot, I was dying. I was like, what the heck? And my car was like a sauna. Okay, 88. That explains why. Christy, is that normal for us? Like it's almost October, 88 degrees? I feel like that is not something that happens a lot. Actually, I refreshed it and it said 86. Yeah, that's too hot. No, we're staying in. I don't I mean, I'll see how it is. I'll put my temp or my thermometer in the shade where they are and see what the true temperature in my place is. But if it's humid at all and it's 86, that's not good for these guys. Look at the Delphine. Oh my God, you gained a little weight. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, baby girl. I love you, sweet boy. Look at this guy. I'm chomping away in my litter box. I'm eating my hay like a good boy. All right, guys. You know what? I will see you all tomorrow, God willing. And supposed to be in the 70s this week here at Winter Love. Oh, that sounds lovely, Crystal. I forgot to North Carolina. God, what the heck? What was that? She just humped her sister's head. They were being really sweet. They were being really cute. Well, sometimes you have to exert dominance, I guess, Jabba. Throw your weight around, and you got a lot of weight on you, bubs. But maybe the heat is why I started feeling awful today. Oh gosh, maybe I know. I don't think like I was achy. I woke up with like not a terrible headache. I had a medium headache and I was all achy. My back was not good. I and it lasted until right before the stream. Now I'm fine. But it was like the whole day I was what do they say? I was riding the struggle bus. I was riding the struggle bus. So Krispy Kreme and I were riding the struggle bus together and we didn't even see each other. We didn't even know we were both on it. Right. No, I don't think it's normal. It's been hotter longer every year. Yes, crispy. Yes. That's what I thought. Much love to you and the Bunz. Hewlin Mall's like, let's wrap this up. Much love to you and Miss Lucy Goosey. Crystal, it cooled down for a minute and then got hot again. Yeah, we had a beautiful little stretch of weather where it was like perfect bunny weather. Wasn't that last week? And then it's like hotsy totsy again starting this weekend. But I'm gonna just throw it out there. Much love to Krispy Kreme, Krusty Krab, Kirsty Cook, Kirsty Kooky Cookie Tillman. Can't even remember my own friend's name. Much love to Crystal with a K, Special K. We know you. We love you. You stay crunchy in the milk in the bowl for a nice amount of time. And you know what? Still delicious even when soggy. Oh, it's sorry, Crystal. I had no idea where my brain was going with that. Happens when I stream for over 2 hours. Um, much love to Mr. Wee's Banana. Nah, I miss you, buddy. Do 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 do. Banana, we love you, Mr. Weeze Banana. Banana, Mr. Weeze Banana Colada, frittata, pina colada, da da da. Mr. Weeze Banana Split. Yeah, I didn't even see you there, Wes. Big love, AJ. Um, I think that I mean we've had a bunch of people here. I think the only people who were chatting are people I already said goodbye to. Kristen Cheyenne Star, Triple R, love ya. Lillian, love you so much, and thank you so much again for helping my beautiful, wonderful, talented ballet teacher who is trying to help um her aging boy bunny. And wait a minute, Wes, you've been there for a while. How did I Sorry, bud. I don't know how okay, you came in as I was okay, as I was starting to read. Okay, that's I think I see what happened. Okay. Historian, much love to you, Mr. Giant Bunz historian, valedictorian. And much love to whoever else is lurking in the chat. We love our lurkers. We shan't say no to the lurkers. Thanks for lolling, Crystal. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know. But I'm gonna leave the camera here and I will pop up the music and we're gonna close out the stream. You just look too cute. Wait, where did my my camera's frozen. Whoops, I did that. Trying to get yeah, look at this girl. Good girl eating that fresh hay. Yeah, we got 120 pounds of fresh hay for these babies. Not too shabby. Yes. All right.
Donkey the rabbit munching cookies all night. Sugar rush blazing a crazy delight. Nibbling faces in a frenzied haze. Friends confused in his cookie craze. He hops through chaos in the midnight dark. Cookies in his paws leaving a sweet mark. Face is bitten with a playful bite. Donkey's world, a funny sight. Donkey the rabbit, sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, crunching all remains. Cookies crumble, falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Chasing shadows under the moon's bright glare. Cookies his obsession like he don't care. Friends watch in shock as he takes a bite. Donkey's love for cookies just feels right. He grins, mischievous eyes so wild. The chaos around him driving friends mild. Cookies drop, crumbs scatter in the bush. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Bite mark stories on furry cheeks. Donkey the rabbit at his cookie peak. Friends band together, a loving chase. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Ankle face, nibble pace. Donkey the rabbit, but sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, nibble on your face. Cookies come, big brother falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Plans ignore.